So we've learned a little bit about positive and negative numbers. So now we're going to apply it to the coordinate plane. So in the past, you guys have learned how to graph points, but you've always seen just this one section where you go to the right and then you go up. Now we're going to add it so that we have 4 different sections. So a coordinate plane is made up of a vertical, so that means up and down number line, and a horizontal number line. They both intersect at 0 on both of them. So that is called the origin. Right here is where the 0 is. So on the horizontal, we have positives on the right, negatives on the left. On the vertical, positives going up, negatives going down, but they both intersect at 0, okay, which is called the origin. The horizontal number line, so that's the one going left to right, is called the x-axis. I remember that kind of like, because it sounds like a cross has like the word like, I don't know, when you hear a cross, you think like X, or at least that works for me. Vertical number line is the y-axis, the one going up and down. Each section of the coordinate plane is called a quadrant, and there are 4 of them. Quadrant 1 is the most common one because it has all of the positive integers. This is the one that you're used to seeing when you're not dealing with negative numbers. So this is quadrant 1. So make sure you're labeling these with me. And then it goes counterclockwise. Okay, so this would be quadrant 2. So quadrant 2, to get into this section, you have to go to the left and up. That means it has a negative x value and a positive y value. Then we have quadrant 3. That is this section here. In order to get a point in this section, you're going to the left and you're going down, so both negatives, a negative x and a negative y. And then for the last one, this is quadrant 4. In order to get into this section, you have to go to the right, which is positive x, and then down, which is negative y. And then again, for this most popular one is when everything is a positive number. Okay, to graph a point on a 4-quadrant coordinate plane, you start at the origin, which is 0, 0. That's right where they intersect. The first number is your x-coordinate, and that tells you how far right or left to go. So think about it. If you're here and you want to go to the right, that means your x-coordinate, it would be a positive number because that's going to put you on the positive side. If it's a negative number, you would move to the left. Then your second coordinate is the y-coordinate. That's going to tell you how far up or down. So if you're going up, it should be a positive number. Down, it's a negative number. Okay? You always go right or left first, and then you go up or down. So I think we talked about this before, but I remember it as like the baby crawls, and then it stands. You drive to the airport, and then you take off. You walk to the elevator, then you go up or down. So different ways to think of that. But you always go right or left first, and then you go up or down. Okay, so we're going to try some examples. So for this first one, it says, which ordered pair corresponds to point T? So we want to start at the origin, and we want to get to point T, which is over here. Now remember, you always go right or left first. So we're going to go over to the right 3. This isn't here for some reason, but over to the right 3. So that's going to be a positive 3. And then we have to go down 3 as well. Since we're going down, that's a negative 3. So that's going to be this answer here. So answer C, 3, negative 3. Order matters. You're going right or left and then up or down. If you do it in the opposite direction, you're not going to end up in the same spot. Okay? So, see if you could try this one. It says write down the ordered pair represented by point A, point B, point C, and point D. So I'm going to do one and then I'll give you one to try. So actually, I'll do 2 of these and I'll give you the other 2. So I'm going to do point A. Starting at the origin every time, I have to explain how to get to A. You go right or left first, and then you go up or down. So I have to go over 4, so positive 4, down 1, so negative 1. Okay? I'm going to try B. Starting here at the origin, I have to go back 2, so that's a negative 2, up 3, so positive 3. So you guys try this one. On the back of your notes, you literally just have to write down the coordinates. So pause here. And you can just kind of count on here where you're going. So right or left first, and then up or down. So you tell me what point C and point D are. Okay, so pause and try that one. So for this one, it says plot A, negative 2, 3, and plot B, 0, negative 3.5, in a coordinate plane. Describe the location of each point. So they already put these on there, so I'm not quite sure where it's telling us to pause it, but they're asking us what quadrant it is in. So this is what we did on the first page. So this is quadrant 1, and then it goes counterclockwise. So they're just asking us what quadrant did these end up in. Okay, so -2, 3 would be back 2 up 3. They already plotted it for us, so that is in quadrant 2. And then quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. So this point is over here. So this is actually, I'm sorry, this is not in a quadrant. This is actually not in a quadrant. It's on the y-axis. So if one of your coordinates is a 0, you're going to end up on an axis and not in a quadrant. So that is actually on the y-axis. So dot there. Okay. So you should have a grid like mine here. So on this grid, I want you to do these problems. So you could do 1 per grid. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3 actually. Oh no, there's 4 problems. Yep. So plot these points and then tell me what quadrant it's in. So remember, you're going to the right or left, up or down. Right or left, up or down. Right or left, up or down. If it's a decimal or a fraction, you just put it between the 2 lines. Okay? So do each one in a different grid and then tell me what quadrant it is in. Okay, so you're going to pause and try this one. Always start at the origin first. Okay, for this one, it says an archaeologist divides an area using a coordinate plane in which each unit represents 1 meter. The corners of a secret chamber are shown in the graph. What are the dimensions of the secret chamber? Basically, what you're going to do is connect the dots. I'll do this one for you. And then they want to figure out what the dimensions are. That means what's the length and the width. So here's what I do. I start at the top. Each cube represents 1. So I just kind of like count my cubes. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this would be 4 units long. And this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting each cube as 1. So it is a 6 by 4. So that would be the dimensions for that one. All right, so I'm going to have you try this one. So you're going to have to go back to your graph paper, okay? First, you're going to plot these points on your graph paper, okay? So remember, you're starting at the origin, so you're going to go to the right or left first and then up or down. So plot each one on a different, whatever grid you left off on. Plot the points and then figure out what the dimensions are, like the one that I just did a second ago. So pause it and try this one. This is going to be your last part. So again, you should still have plenty of grids left on this sheet. So go to whatever your empty grids are. They want you to plot the points. You could do them all in the same grid, or you could do them in 4 different grids because you have plenty of them. Then it's asking you what shape does that make. And then it's telling you to describe the location of each point. That means tell me what quadrant it's in. Okay, so step 1 is plot all those points. You could do them on your grid. You could do them all in the same. Actually, it would be easy if you did them all in the same grid, actually, because they want you to connect the dots. So do them all on the same exact grid. Then connect the dots. Tell me what shape it makes. And then tell me what quadrant that each of the points are in. Okay, so that is your last one. So make sure you do all of these.